Hey, what is going on? This is your stimulus check updated information. So new stimulus checks are going out this week. Looks like there's going to be about 40 million people getting new stimulus. States are starting to step up and sending out their own stimulus. So in this video, I'm going to cover a lot of the details of the new stimulus that's happening right now, when more stimulus checks will be going out to everybody. And I'll talk about all the checks that are going out this week. One of the things that's really going on right now with Congress is that they're trying to work on this $3.5 trillion spending plan. This is a big plan. This is going to be getting a lot of the extensions moved out, maybe even possibly a fourth stimulus check. Democrats have control of the Senate and the House of Representatives, but it's a very small margin. They need all the Democrats to vote on this, and if they can get it done, they might possibly get a new stimulus check in the future, a fourth stimulus check that could be possibly maybe some type of reoccurring payment that goes out. But right now you have all the Democrats basically in favor of this except one, Joe Manchin. He has told Congress maybe to put a pause in that. Now it's important because he basically puts a wrench in the whole entire system to where the Senate doesn't have the full 50-50 votes to make it happen. So he needs to get on board, and I think he's going to probably get on board with a little pressure, I think, from the other Democrats. But that is what's happening right now. They're trying to vote on this. This is what Nancy Pelosi's working on. This is what Chuck Schumer's working on. They want to get this spending bill plan done to where they can start to get more stimulus out to everybody.
Democrats are going to keep pressing for Senate action on related issues. Let the Republican response be quick and generous, not stingy and halting. Senate Republicans are going to have to respond one way or the other and either support urgent and necessary pieces of legislation or explain to their constituents why they're blocking them. It would be far better to pass these measures earlier rather than later and be more generous rather than stingier. That is how you give the American people the kind of peace of mind they need, that they will not needlessly fall into poverty this year or next year or the year after. No doubt, this is a new idea. It would be one of the first programs of its kind. But we need to take this bold step forward to guarantee the federal government effectively serves the American people in times of crisis. There's a long road ahead before the U.S. economy gets...
So it's good news for a lot of the states. There's new updated information on some of the new states that are sending out stimulus. This is what's happening right now. The federal government has stopped sending out stimulus checks for now, and they're just reliant on the states to send out the stimulus. Why? Because every state received billions and billions of dollars of a new stimulus plan. And so what happens is that they have this money that they have to spend until December 31st. And if they don't get that money spent, I think they have to give it back to the federal government. That would not be good. So right now it looks like everybody's trying to get on board as far as getting more stimulus out to everybody. Some states are doing well. Some states aren't doing as well as far as getting more stimulus. Alaska has this federal state extended benefit program that they have set up. This is a program that they are going to be getting more stimulus out to everybody. Alaska also has it's like an annual oil wealth check. So the amount of profits that they make through the sale of oil, they give it back to the citizens of Alaska. Arkansas looks like they're just currently involved in a battle to try to get the unemployment benefits back in the state of Arkansas. California is one of the big states that is stepping up and sending more stimulus. This is going to be $500 and $600 to individuals who make less than $75,000 for the year. So that's going to be good news for people in California. They're sending out the Golden State stimulus checks. So if you are living in California and you make less than $75,000, then you would probably be receiving your stimulus check, I think, this week. There's also a big recall for the governor out there in California. So the timing of that is pretty, it's, I don't know if it's in his favor or not. I think hopefully the people in that state will definitely vote on him versus whether they get a stimulus check or not. Colorado looks like they're going to be sending out $375. Florida is one of the bigger states that's going to be sending out more money. Again, each state has billions of dollars sitting in the treasury waiting to be sent out. So $1,000 payment is going to go out to teachers and administrators. Also, it's going to be going out to frontline workers, EMT, firefighters, police are also going to be getting a stimulus check in the state of California. Georgia sending out $1,000 checks to teachers and part-time teachers there. Maryland, they have $500 going out to people that had earned income tax credit. Mississippi, I think they ended their unemployment benefit, so they don't really have any program going right now. Michigan is $500 hazard pay to teachers. New Mexico is going to be sending out $5 million to about 4,000 people in the state. I think it's about $750 checks, I believe, going out in New Mexico. New York has a $2.1 billion fund for undocumented workers. And then Tennessee, $1,000 checks going out to teachers. So that's good news for teachers in Tennessee. Different cities in Texas will be sending out checks. This is going to be Irvine is going to be sending out $2,000 to teachers to try to get them back to the school. Again, a lot of these states are sending out payments to teachers. I believe those teacher unions in those states are very powerful, and they have a lot of push for the governors in that state. And I think that's why you're seeing these checks going out in these different states. Now, West Virginia had 7,700 unclaimed stimulus checks. So if you are in that state, you might want to check out and make sure you get your stimulus payment for the state of West Virginia. So in this new package, this $3.5 trillion stimulus package, the House and Ways Committee released a statement informing the public that lawmakers have decided to include an extension of the credit's current structure through 2025. So every month, what they're going to be doing is sending out stimulus payments to children under the age of 6 of $300, and then any child between the age of 6 and 17 gets a $250 check. So they're going to extend that out through 2025. So those that do have children, looks like you're going to be benefiting from this. So this is nearly 90% of families in the United States will receive the credits worth $300 or $250. So these are stimulus checks going out every month. They started in July. They'll be going down through December. But that's good news for those that do have children. Definitely will be getting a stimulus payment through the year 2025. Also, there is some other stuff. There's American Rescue Plan expansions of the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Dependent on Credit. So that's going to be more money going out to those that had the Earned Income Tax Credit. I guess healthcare and prescription drugs, looks like they're going to be, the reconciliation bill could lower prices by allowing the Secretary of Health and Human Services to negotiate with drug companies. We'll see if that is a benefit to people or not, if that's going to be a benefit to him or the drug companies. Seems like people that were in those drug companies end up in government, so that they seem to be working towards, I don't know if they're going to be working towards those businesses or actually working for the benefit of the people. We'll just have to see if the Secretary of Health can negotiate better prices. So those are the benefits right now that are happening with with Congress right now, trying to extend those out. So this week there is more checks going out. This is the child tax credit again. This is the payments that are going out, part of the American Rescue Plan. Now, right now, September 15th is when the child tax credit goes out. This is the $300 payment or $250. Starting in July through December, people that do have children are going to be getting these checks on a monthly basis. You have to, it's still qualified, less than $75,000, and then also joint is $150,000. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't have children, they've grown up, and I get it. That's what I think this new infrastructure plan is going to happen, this new $3.5 trillion stimulus infrastructure, or whatever you want to call it. It's a spending bill by the Democrats, and they want to sneak in a lot of their stimulus payments. One of the things they're trying to do is get a monthly payment coming in. So every month people would be getting maybe a $1,400 check or a $1,200 check or even a $2,000 check they're talking about. But they have to create some type of bill in order to get that done. That means that if they could sneak this in, the Treasury doesn't have to worry about payments coming from, anybody they don't have to worry about the payments coming from people. We're waiting for Congress to actually create a bill in order to get these payments out. It'll just have the Treasury will send out monthly payments. Now, I do believe the Federal Reserve is going to be coming out with some type of, it's called a Fed Now coin. It's going to be some type of stable coin. This will be an app they'll put on your phone. Once that is on your phone, They'll be able to take that money and spend it. You'll be able to spend it into the economy. That's what they're trying to get people to do. They're trying to get people to spend the money that they give to everyone. I think the stimulus bills right now, they realize that people were actually saving the money or maybe investing into the stock market, which is great, but that doesn't really benefit the velocity of the money going through and spending on goods and services. So that's something that they're going to be working on in this new $3.5 trillion stimulus package. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, they're all trying to get these passed. If they can get it through Congress, if they can get the Democrats to jump on board, it'll be a good win for a lot of people. And if they can get a monthly checks going out to everybody, that'll be a big, giant stimulus plan that I think will be benefiting a lot of people. So I look forward to seeing if they can get this passed sometime here in the next future. So if you got any questions, drop those questions in the comments below. This is your daily stimulus check updated information for today.
And what we are doing is to invest in the economy as we help America's working families. So today was productive in terms of moving us forward. As the leader said, our staffs will be working to theirs and ours to have some clarity in some of the issues. Here we have this challenge, and what they were saying before is we're going to cut your benefit. That's one of the, shall we say, discussions we're having.
I said to them, if 1 million people are without food, you don't say let's compromise and give 500,000 people food. If there are 1 million people, 1 million small businesses hurting, you don't compromise and say we're only going to help half of them. But on the other hand, we had really, it was the best discussions we've had so far. And I'd call it progress, but a ways to go.
That's right.
Okay, is that fair?
That's good.
Okay.
But the fact is that people need resources in order to meet the needs of their families. So it's very important for, as we come to, this is not a usual discussion because the urgency is so great.
Representative Porter, House Speaker Pelosi has promised moderate Democrats, centrists, a vote on the infrastructure bill by September 27th. It's being reported that you and other progressives are not going to support it unless you get what you want. And that's passage of the $3.5 trillion social spending package. Are you willing to see the bipartisan infrastructure bill fail if you don't get everything you want in the budget bill?
President Biden rolled out his Build Back Better agenda as two plans, and he made very clear at the time that his jobs plan and his family's plan were both necessary for the economic recovery of this country. And I would say the same thing about the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which I strongly support, and the budget reconciliation package. Both of those things, hand in hand, are what we need to stabilize our economy and create a globally competitive workforce. So just like we talk about how investments in roads and bridges are necessary to allow businesses to get their products to and from ports, for example, to and from customers, investments in things like childcare are necessary for workers to be able to go to and from their places of business.